In the real world, he's written off as a strange hippie, but that's not all he is. Wavy and his commune, who called themselves the Hog Farmers, worked as security at the Woodstock Festival of 1969. He called his crew the Please Force because instead of using traditional methods of intrusiveness and violence, he promoted peaceful enforcement. He also emceed the festival and helped to keep the concert goers at bay. Now, Wavy is the founder of the SIVA Foundation, which is an organization that works to build sustainable health projects in many less fortunate communities internationally. The quote by Wavy Gravy that Colin read to you earlier, "I always say, dare to struggle, dare to grin," means a lot to me. I first came across it while stumbling through the internet, and it stuck with me in my head for weeks. Although it's simple, that statement means so much more than what it seems. I personally read it as, do what you need to do to be you, and enjoy your life, no matter how hard you have to try. It rings so deeply with me because my pursuits in life could be labeled as unconventional, but they make me happy, and that's what really matters. Since before starting my freshman year, I, and I assume most of you, have felt pressure from parents, peers, and teachers. When I was in 5th grade, my elementary school required my whole class to participate in a chorus. I was one of the few who actually enjoyed this activity. I continued to sing when I got to middle school, in the chorus and select chorus, for all 3 years. When I got to Westy, I decided to carry on my interest in vocal ensembles by joining chorale and chamber choir. I also was part of the a cappella club my 3rd and 4th form year. Last year, about a week before my March birthday, I decided to pick up a hobby which I had quit twice before. When I was in 6th grade, I started taking guitar lessons. After 3 sessions, I wanted out. I felt the rigid schedule that my teacher had laid out for me involved far too much structure for an activity that I wanted to partake in for the simple purpose of having fun. So I quit. But that wasn't the last time I struggled with guitar. When I was in 8th grade, I decided to give it a go again. I rented an electric Fender, and after my first lesson, I found that my short attention span had not left me, and again, the structure of my practice itinerary caused me to quit. I was bummed. I wanted to learn how to play the axe badly, but I just couldn't keep up with a teacher. My urge to learn the instrument was forced to the back of my head until last year. On March 14th of 2011, my 17th birthday, I asked for and received a Yamaha guitar starter kit. My plan was to play guitar when I wanted, and never because I needed to. I didn't have high hopes for this idea, but I figured I'd give it a try. It turns out that it worked. I used guitar chords on the internet and sang along to Wagon Wheel by Old Crow Medicine Show for months until I finally put together a presentable rendition. I kept dabbling with my guitar, and now I have a whole set list of songs under my belt. Another interest of mine is Frisbee. Many of you have probably seen me out on the quad tossing a disc with friends. Every summer, I go to Cape Cod for 2 weeks with my dad's side of the family. One of my cousins in particular is really into Frisbee, and 3 summers ago, he taught me how to throw one. We would spend hours out on a sandbar at low tide tossing a disc. From that point on, I was flinging Frisbees every chance I got, and now I hope to play Ultimate in college. One reason I love Frisbee is because I love the outdoors. Being outdoors makes me feel free and alive. Without walls and a roof caging me in, I feel like I can do anything I want. I'm happy that my 4 years at Westy haven't been defined by stress and anxiety, but rather by continuing to do the things I love. By not becoming absorbed in keeping my head in the future, and instead living in the now, I have found more time and energy to pursue the things that I am passionate about. Prioritizing my immediate interests over my future may seem silly or ignorant to you, but I think of it as my own brand of integrity. I always try to keep in mind that life is too short not to enjoy oneself. When it comes down to it, I want to be accepted to college for who I am and what I like doing. I'm only a poster child for myself, and I don't want to fool anyone into thinking otherwise. Essentially, I feel it is critical for everyone to pursue his or her interests, instead of focusing only on the expectations set by others. Know what makes you happy, and do it. This maxim seems simpler than it is, but at the end of the day, all that really matters is that you're enjoying your life. Life's too short to dislike what you do, so never forget to consider what you want and do the things that make you happy. At this point in my life, I'm happy. I love my friends and family and school. I love the activities that I partake in, and the fact that I'm not spending most of my time trying to impress someone with the illusion that I'm somebody else. Although performing tedious tasks like homework is a common occurrence in my everyday life, I recognize the necessity of trying my hardest. All in all, I find that I'm happier when I wake up and I do not need to worry about having my socks match. I hope you all can work toward your goal instead of striving for the expectations of others. Go through life by the principles of your own personal integrity and find your individual happiness. I will now play Wagon Wheel. Feel free to sing along if you know the words.
I picked the